we're getting a lot of sideways action. So again, normally I wouldn't even be trading this time of the day. It's already past the first hour of the day. I'm done for the day. I've made my one and done. I've made my daily income and I'm finished. But in the spirit of continuing these higher probability videos that you keep asking for, I'm going to do them as often as I can. But based on the time of day and the lack of volume that I'm seeing, I'm only going to go for 4 and 6 ticks on this. And I'm going to take my stop loss to entry after 4 ticks of positive movement. So at this point, I've got it all set up on my Ninja Dome. I'm good to go. I just really need a normal system entry long to jump into the trade. So what I'll do now is pretty much pause the video. Not much I can do until the trade transpires. I will pause the video and come back when we get close, or when we get the normal system entry to the long side. Okay, we're back. We have our normal system entry signal here, and we jumped in at 87.50. That was our worst case fill. We jumped in limit, and we're now long at 87.50. This is a high probability normal system entry. It's high probability because it's the first normal system entry coming out of no zone. Of course, just because the probability is higher, there's no guarantee that it will be a winning trade. We don't know. Okay, but we do know it is a high probability trade, so we do want to be in the trade if we continue to trade throughout the day. As I had mentioned earlier, I'd made my one and done out of the first NSC coming out of no zone, and I was finished for the day. But in the interest of continuing our ongoing video series that I've been doing as often as possible, I like to take these trades and show off our high probability setup. So with any luck here, we'll see if we can hit 88.50. Our stop loss will move up to entry and maybe jump off here at 88.50 on one leg and grab a couple more ticks on the other leg. Also, that I had mentioned, these trades tend to go a little bit more. You could really take these out to 2 points, 10 ticks, sometimes 3 points. But the time of the day we're having right now, it's just about lunchtime. It's a very slow part of the day. We're not getting a lot of action, very low volume. Just going to look for point on one leg, 1.5 on the other, and that's all I'm going to do. If it was, say, 9:35 in the morning and we had a lot of action, that would be completely different. I could stretch it out for 8+ ticks on these trades. So we've got 3 ticks in the money. If it upticks to 88.50, Ninja Trader will automatically adjust my stop loss, and hopefully we'll get filled and we'll see this market take off and for the second no zone of the day, or I should say the second NSC coming out of no zone of the day. So we'll let the video go here for just a moment, but it's important to realize that it's all about following the rules. Whether or not this trade wins or loses, it doesn't matter. I'm going to follow my day trading rules no matter what. Okay, we can see right here this little reference point here. Okay, we've already hit our first target. Let's see if we can get filled. You can see this gray reference point. That's where an NSC would have been, but we're in no zone. And it's clear to see it would have been a winning short trade. Okay, and some will say, well, maybe you should just take them. No, we got to follow the rules. This trade here would have been a long trade. No zone said stay away from it, and it was sure enough a losing trade. So this is why we have no zone, and it's really more important. It's all about following the rules. That's really what it is. Okay, you're going to see trades that we avoid that are going to win, and you're going to see trades that we avoid that are going to lose. And I would rather err to the side of caution, and when the probability is decreased, avoid the trade setup altogether. Okay, so this is that first NSC. It's already given a point, but we still have not been filled on that first leg of the trade. But once it prints, I personally take my stop loss up to entry. Sometimes this is a double-edged sword because it may play around a little bit and it may stop me out and then turn right back around and bounce and end up hitting all my targets and some. Well, that's sometimes that's the way it is. In fact, there's been videos where that has happened. But I would rather move it up after 4 ticks of profit. My thought process is once I have a trade that's in the money, I don't want it to go 2 points against me, which would be 3 points from the point it's already at, and move all the way against me. I would rather break out even. Okay, even though a stop market order is always subject to negative slippage, it's pretty rare in the S&P markets. It could happen, but rarely does it. So, this is where A new trader could get frustrated when they say, "Wait, it kept hitting 88.50. It didn't fill me. It may stop me out. Maybe I should move that stop loss down." Well, it's all about the discipline too. You've got to follow the rules. You've got to know the rules, and you've got to have the discipline to follow the rules. So if this trade comes down here and stops me out and then bounces, well, so what? It's just the way it is. It's part of the game. If it comes up and wins, well, so what? I followed the rules. It's all that matters to me at the end of the day is that I follow the rules. So, as you can see, this market's moving really slow. This is the time of day after 11:15 Eastern or so that I really do not trade. And if I do trade, I would only take a higher probability setup, such as the first NSE coming at a no zone. So we can see it keeps kind of playing around here, flirting with that 88.50 level. And it's hit up there a couple times, but still has not filled us. So we're just pretty much waiting in line. And it's either going to pop up and fill us, or it's going to come out and stop us out even. And if it stops us out even, I do not consider that a losing trade by any means. Okay, even if it comes down here and bounces and turns back up, that's just the way life goes. But like I said, that's the way I trade. Those are my rules, and I stick with them no matter what. So we're back up to 50. We'll see if we can get filled here and let one off, and then maybe she'll bounce up here towards 89 and give us a couple more ticks on the trade. I hate to pause the video, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of time, so we'll see what this wants to do. I lost my audio there for a second. Apologies about that. I was just talking about system rules and long-term filters. What I was stating was that, unfortunately, my microphone was muted, was that if the long-term filter were to go long, I could definitely take this profit objective up higher and try to go for more profit. But my long-term filter, which I do not display on these videos, is not quite long yet. So this really isn't a trade that I would try to get more profit out of. And again, this time of day, very slow action, not a very productive time to trade. And I'm only taking this trade because it's the first NSC out of no zone, and the probability on a trade is so good. So even with negative slippage, this is really a no-lose trade. I mean, I'm more than likely, if this hits 87.50, I will not get negative slippage. I could, but I doubt it. So I'm really not going to lose on this trade. So it's either going to come up here and give me profit, or it's going to come down here and stop me out even, and I'll wait for the next trade and be done with it. So again, it keeps hitting 88.50. Hopefully we'll break up and run up towards 89 and give us our full profit on all this. But I'm going to have to pause the video here if it doesn't do it soon. You can see why I don't like to trade that lunchtime. It just gets very, very slow. So, okay, we did get filled on the first target. I could actually take this up one tick and say, okay, well, we moved up 5 ticks. Let me keep it tight. Let me just take it up once. If it does turn back around, at least I make 1 tick on the other part of the contract. I could have also let both contracts off at 88.75 and pretty much achieve the same results. But I like to show different ways of trading this system, especially on these higher probability trades. You know, we did one video where the long-term filter had gone long, something similar to this, where it was kind of floating around for a while. Long-term indicator ended up going long, and I took my profit objective up 4 or 5, 6 ticks, and then I moved my stop loss down a little bit. That was a little different because I was now looking at the long-term filter, and I was using that as my gauge. So I wanted to give them the market some more breathing room, and I definitely wanted to make more profit off the trade. I hope you caught that video. It's somewhere on my blog. But let me go ahead and pause for just a minute. Unfortunately, we're getting way low on time, and this trade is really taking forever. So let me pause, and we'll come back shortly. Okay, we're back. We were just taken out with a tick profit on the second leg. We moved our stop loss up just 1 tick into the money. So that's 2 for 2 on the first NSC coming out of no zone today on July 13th, 2010. And that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching the videos.